Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on the Corvette. And you're going to ask, what are we doing on the Corvette? Well, today we're going to be using these universal coilover extenders and adding them to the back of the Corvette. See, I've discovered when I went drag racing this year that I wasn't having a lot of good weight transfer with my suspension setup. And part of the problem is that the coilovers that are in my car are from Pfadt Racing, and they're out of business. Well, they went out of business, they stopped producing their items, and then they got bought out by AFE. AFE makes intakes for diesels, LT4s, new Corvettes and stuff. So what I have is an older set of Pfadt coilovers that I can't adjust. Now, when I originally installed these, the instructions told you to literally drill through the back of the car so that you could reach the top of the coilover. Well, I was like, nope, I'm not drilling holes in my car, especially not for a set of coilovers. So I did a bunch of research and I actually found out that a competitor, LG Motorsports, has the same problem. But what they do is they sell these coilover extenders. Basically what they do is you put this cup over the top of the coilover and you twist it with the bottom. I'll show that here. So as you can see, if you twist this adjuster knob on the bottom right, it twists the cup up here, twist it. So you want to tighten your suspension, twist it to the right. You want to loosen the suspension, twist it to the left. So that's how these adjusters work. It's just really a cord with a set screw that's screwed into the cord. I actually have taken this one apart, or one of these apart. And the set screw basically tightens against that cord, and that cord is inside. It's a steel braided line. It's inside this rubber hose. And you twist it left, you twist it right. Now, the problem is, I actually bought these for an import. They were on Amazon. I think these were like $25 to $30. They weren't super expensive, but the problem that I'm going to have is, as you guys can see, this is the adjuster knob for the Pfadt coilover that sits on the top. And as you can see, there is a set screw on the side here, and I could put that in and shove it all the way to one side and it would tighten it. But what I'm afraid is going to happen is that if I try to adjust it, you know, with it tightened to one side, I'm afraid that it's gonna like bind and like it'll just loosen up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take this aluminum, because I put a magnet to this. This is not steel, it's aluminum. I'm gonna take this set screw and I'm actually gonna drill two more. So there's one here. I'm basically gonna make like a triangulate it. So one here, and one at the top. It's kind of look like a peace symbol, basically. But basically what I'm trying to do is just take that load and distribute it, you know, in a triangular shape, and that way you distribute the twisting power just a little bit, and that way you can, like I said, distribute that force, that load over three parts of the adjuster knob and not just the one. And then also what I'm going to have to do is you can kind of see here, the adjuster knob is, see the set screw on the adjuster knob? It's below the surface of the cup. So I'm going to have to drill a hole. You know what I'll probably do? I'll probably just take my Dremel and make a notch in the side of the aluminum black cup right here. That way I can get my AN wrench, not my AN wrench, I'm sorry. That way I can get my L wrench in there to tighten the thing down. So let's get started. Okay guys, as you can see, I kind of took the cup off. Basically, like I said, it's just a rubber shielded cable. There's like a steel liner, and then there's a wire harness on the inside of it. Not a wire harness, but a steel steel cable on the inside of it. And you can see where the set screw has screwed in and left an impression on it. So the reason I took the cup off was because I need to drill a hole through this aluminum here. There's the
the original, and the left one, I need to cut that one off a little bit more. But so anyway, I've marked the spots, and now I'm gonna use my center punch to put a hole, not a hole, but a divot in the location where I'm gonna want to drill. All right, there's a spot there. That one's marked, that one's marked. And what I'm gonna do is I have a little clamp on here on my drill press, and we're gonna end up using this. Well, I haven't used this in forever, so let's swap the bits out. We'll get started to get drilling. Okay guys, I've adjusted the drill press. I've moved the clamp around, and as you can see, we're gonna be drilling this hole perfectly. So let's turn this thing on and drill this hole. Like I said, this stuff's aluminum. Pretty simple. It's not very thick. Let's loosen this up. Drill the next hole. So there's the first hole. Pretty close to the first one. The height's a little different, but you know, this doesn't need to be perfect. This is just basically just something you'll never see. So. It's gonna be it for drilling. What I need to do now is tap both of these holes, and let's get started on that. Okay guys, here's my tap and die set. The particular bit we're gonna be using is a metric 4 by 0.7. So it's a 4mm with a 0.7 thread. I think that's how that's read. So grab your tap, obviously says metric 4 to M12. I've got the M4 by 0.7 on here. And what we're gonna do is basically just run this through the hole, and we should be good to go. So here's the cup, and I used an 1/8 inch bit. I know that's not exactly what we should be using, but this is aluminum, and this M4 calls for like a £1.30, and I looked online for those bits and they really couldn't find them. Like, metric bits are obviously really hard to find, so I just went down a size. Now if this was steel, I wouldn't have done that. I would have found the proper size bit, but since this is aluminum, I'm not overly concerned. But so let's do this in the vise, and let's move this out of the way of the drill. That way we've got room to work. Okay guys, I took a little bit of WD-40, use that as some cutting material, and what I did was I sprayed it on the bit, as well as I sprayed it in the hole that I'm trying to tap. And you need to try to keep this stuff straight. Okay guys, I finished drilling and tapping the first hole. This will be the ultimate test. This is a set screw. It's a metric 4 by 0.70. I got this from Lowe's. It was like a pack of 4 for about $1.86. It was pretty cheap. So since I don't want to lose it, I'm going to keep it kind of tight. And let's just see if it threads in. Alright guys, there you go. Just some gunk in the front of it, in the cup, that's fine. Alright, so this one, since it was, I think what they did when they manufactured this, they drilled the holes, tapped it, and then they anodized it. So here is the original. Here's the new set screw, it's in there. And this is the last hole. So let me get this tapped and then we'll go from there. Okay guys, you can kind of see the final piece here. Basically, you see the coilover knob is now twisting. Anyway, so this is kind of what the final assembly is going to look like. You can see I'm twisting it to the right to tighten, left to loosen. What I need to do next, you see this metal, the silver mark. What I need to do now is take my Dremel, and I'm simply just going to get a cutting disc and cut a slot into this cup. I'll do that, and then I'm going to go test this on the front of the car. Okay guys, I'm doing the last mod to the cup, and that was to use my Dremel and to cut just a relief slot, basically the width of the Sharpie marker, the silver mark that you can see. Again, I put it back into the drill press clamp, that way it won't move anywhere while I'm trying to cut it. So, and it's tight. And always wear some kind of protection for your hands when you're cutting and using blades. Just, you know, just one layer of protection if the cutting disc decides to shatter. So let's get started. Okay guys, let's check it. Yeah, that might be wide enough. Let's see. Nope, need a little bit more. Okay. That's why you do these slowly and you check your work as you go. So. Let's check the tool. Oh yeah, we're good. Now, which one did we have? We had this one in here. Alright guys, I have cleaned out the cup. Try to get all the little aluminum shavings off. Here's a little trick. Put your Allen key in there, that way you can start tightening it down. Plus it'll kind of center it. Okay guys, here's the finished product finally. So I have 1, 2, 3 set screws triangulated and tied into this aluminum coilover adjuster nut. Then you can see I took my Dremel, as you saw, and I just cut a slice into the side of it, and you can take your key, put it into the side of it, and you can tighten and loosen the set screw. So you should be able to see the set screw popping in, yep, and then we can take it out. And just for a quick show, put on the coilover up front, tighten set screw down, cap, and now we can tighten and loosen the coilover. Like I was saying, it's just an example of how this is going to work. What I need to do is actually drill out the other cup, cut the same slot, and then what I think I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the whole rear coilover assembly out of the car, put this cup and wire on the top, and then what I think I'm going to do, because trying to think about it, it's like I was like going to try to take this cup off, slide it in, try to like hold the coilover, try to use that little Allen key and try to tighten it all like under the car, holding suspension, and I just think that's gonna be a real big pain. So what I think I'm gonna do, take out this set screw, so put the coilover on, take the coilover out of the car, put this on top, take this top set screw off, take the knob out, feed the tube and the set, feed this tube up through the top of the suspension, because there is like a little hole that a crack that you can go through. And what I think I'm gonna do is feed the tube through that crack in the frame, not crack, but that void in the frame. Then what we're gonna do is take that small set screw, put the knob back on. I think that'll be the easiest way to adjust this. So, okay guys, here's the finished product. You can see that both of the coilover adjusters, the knobs, are being held within the remote adjusters. I've got 3 set screws on each one, and you can see that I cut the groove for the set screw that goes onto the top of the coilover itself, so that those are fully adjustable and you can tighten it down. So like I said, my intention is to take the shock out of the car, put the adjuster and the tube, the wire on top of it, take these tops off, slide them through the gap in the frame, and then put the knobs back on and be finished. Okay guys, I didn't realize that this first part, just modifying the coilover extenders, was going to be this long. So I'm going to split this into 2 episodes. I'm going to do the installation next, removing the coilover, setting everything up, putting it, adjusting it, and putting it back in the car. So hopefully you guys found this modifying the extenders was helpful. I kind of did the whole tutorial of how to do it, and I hope you guys find it educational as well as helpful for your Corvette. Thanks guys for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Give it a big thumbs up if you like it, and if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Thanks and have a great day.